Hello, my beautiful souls. In today's video, I want to talk about limiting beliefs and how to reprogram your subconscious mind so you can shift from limiting beliefs that block your success to beliefs and mindset that support you creating or manifesting your highest life. And I'm going to guide you through an experiential process. So I'm going to invite you to grab pen and paper to make yourself comfortable, maybe play some background music or light up a candle, anything that makes you feel cozy and inspired. First of all, I want to explain why this is so important. I've done many years of training. And in my practice, in my healing coaching practice, I've studied many disciplines like traditional talking therapy, counseling, life coaching. I've studied a lot of energy healing disciplines. And after years and years and years of doing this work, I've concluded that the power of working with the subconscious mind and rewriting the old beliefs, the stories that we tell ourselves, the self-narrative, it's the key to healing and to seeing deep, deep, deep transformation. This is because when we are very young, up to 7 years old, they say that by the time we are 7, we have made a script about our life, and we have made decisions such as if we're going to be lucky in love, or if we're going to be always the one who has a broken heart. We decide if the world is a place for joy and to have fun, or if the world is a very dangerous place and we need to protect ourselves. We have decided if we are going to be very successful or if scarcity is what's in store for us. And we make all these decisions when we are very, very, very young. Sometimes we even bring them from previous lifetimes. Sometimes we inherit them from our ancestors, or we just copy them from our parental figures. But we make all these beliefs about ourselves, about others, and about the world when we are very, very young. And we do it because we are very smart, and we do it with the intention to survive and to protect ourselves. But what was serving us or what was useful at a certain point, maybe in your adult life, then it has become a belief that is no longer useful, and it's blocking your success, having an abundant life, having a joyful life. So when we make these decisions, for example, I am not good enough is one that comes up a lot, again and again and again, with most people I work with. And we go through different life experiences, and as we go through these experiences, we make these decisions, we form these beliefs, right? So sometimes it's based on various events or circumstances that we make these beliefs. So for example, if one day you get home from school and you're trying to show your parents a drawing that you've made, and they don't have time, they're very busy, they're on the phone, and they say, not now, things like that. One event like that, it's probably not gonna traumatize you, but one event like that after another, after being neglected, after not receiving a hug when you were in pain, can create, we can form these beliefs, and that can translate into, oh, my needs are not important, I am alone, no one is there to help me, I am not lovable, there must be something wrong with me. And as a kid, we always think there's something wrong with us. We are egocentric, that's just the way we develop, right? So understanding where those negative self-messages come from, that I'm not good enough, you can't do this, who do you think you are to start your own business, you're never going to succeed, miracles like that don't happen to people like you, all those beautiful self-messages that we tell ourselves again and again. Some of them appear out of nowhere, some of them become very good old friends, and they're very familiar, and they repeat again and again. So what I'm going to show you in this video is a process to become aware of those beliefs and to reprogram your subconscious mind so you can replace the beliefs that are not serving you with another belief that will support your growth, your development, and creating the life of joy and purpose you came here to live. So you're probably thinking, well, I've done this a million times, and I know intellectually that the belief that I am not good enough, as an example, is not true, but it keeps coming up again and again and again. And the thing is that when we try to fight these beliefs, by the way, sometimes we are aware of them, but sometimes they're stored in the subconscious mind and we're not even aware of them. And when we're trying to fight the subconscious mind with the conscious mind, it's a battle that we are never going to win. So it doesn't matter how many affirmations you write, if you don't go to the subconscious mind and rewrite that belief and rewrite that story, it's going to be very difficult that just by understanding or gaining awareness or repeating some affirmations, you're going to override that subconscious belief. And if you think about an iceberg and what you see over the water is just the tip of the iceberg, right? So if you compare it in size, the subconscious mind, the part that is under the water, is much bigger and is much deeper, right? So like I said, grab pen and paper, and I'm going to guide you through this process. So the first step is to bring these limiting beliefs to our awareness. I'm sure that some of them you're very familiar with and you know them already, so you can start writing them down. And you can stop this video at any point, by the way, to continue your exercise and to take as long as you need for self-reflection and just to sit on it, meditate on it, writing about it, just closing your eyes and letting the information come to your awareness in whatever format works better for you. So start writing down any beliefs that you are aware of that you know are blocking you and keeping you stuck and holding you back from living your highest life. You might not be aware of any of these beliefs, or maybe it's just not flowing for you, or maybe you are aware of some, but you would like to bring some to your awareness that you weren't aware of. So for that, I'm going to invite you to take a few moments to close your eyes. You can bring your hands to the heart just to start bringing the awareness from the head to the heart, from the thinking, the doing, the busy mind, to the heart, to the place of being, feeling, knowing. And just breathe deeply and slowly into the heart. And visualize yourself living your highest life. And that will look very different for many of you. Actually, for each person doing this exercise, it would look like something different. Maybe for you, it's a very successful and meaningful career. Maybe it's a loving relationship. Maybe it's forming a big family. Maybe it's traveling the world. Maybe it's being healthy. Whatever it is for you, just take a few moments to visualize it. Trying to step into that vision. And see if there are any parts of the body that are showing any resistance, that don't feel quite right. And just become aware of where that energy is in the body. If it had a color, what would that be? If it had an emotion, what would that be? And if it had a voice, what would it be saying? And with no judgment, invite any parts of you that are showing resistance to your vision, that don't fully believe that it is possible for you. Let them speak. And you can stop the video here and you can take your time to do this. I would recommend you do that. And I'm sure more beliefs will come up, more negative thoughts, maybe beliefs about yourself, maybe about others, maybe about the world, maybe just statements, that will never happen for someone like you, for example. And again, write them down and just give them space. We're not judging here because we all have these limiting beliefs, right? In some form or another. This is normal. I haven't come across anyone who is a blank slate and has no limitations, no limiting beliefs whatsoever, no disempowering decisions ever in their life. No. So no judgment, just invite them, just give them space. And maybe ask yourself, what are they trying to say? Where do I feel them in the body? Just try to connect with them. And when you have a list of all these beliefs, the next question is, for example, if the belief is I'm not good enough, when did I decide that I'm not good enough? When did I decide that? Insert your belief here. And again, I would recommend you stop the video here to do that with calm and to really meditate, and so you can really go deep into it. And this might take you to certain memories. This might take you to certain events in your life, and that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for: the memories, the moment when your younger self, at some point, because of whatever situation, decided that you are not good enough, that you are not lovable, that you are not worthy, that you're never going to be successful, whatever the belief. So we're trying to look for those moments. And some of them might feel completely irrelevant or not connected. Just let them come to your awareness, whatever comes to mind first. The idea of this exercise is that allow whatever comes to your awareness first. Always go with the first thing that comes to mind. So the next question would be, how did it serve you? How did that belief or that decision about yourself, about others, about the world serve you back then? Because we don't make these beliefs randomly, because we're stupid. Actually, we make these beliefs because we're very smart, because we're trying to protect ourselves, because we're trying to survive. So how was this belief serving you? And there is always, 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 even the most annoying limiting belief, there is always a reason for it. And there is always something that your younger self was trying to protect herself from. And then the next question would be, how is that belief serving you now? And very likely you're going to say, not at all. It's not serving me at all. And sometimes that belief is not serving us our highest interest anymore, right? But there was always a reason, and sometimes there's still a reason why these beliefs might be useful. And again, it can be to protect ourselves, it can be to prevent ourselves to suffer, to experience pain, to be rejected. So there was a purpose back then, but maybe there's still a purpose, a secondary gain that this belief is helping us achieve, right? So again, take some time for self-reflection. The next question is, what belief would you like to have instead? What would you like to believe about yourself instead, or about others? If the belief is, I don't know, relationships are very difficult, what would you like to believe about relationships? And just write that down. Any positive, empowering beliefs that you would like to have. And now this final question is the challenging one. And this is where things get challenging, but super powerful and interesting. And this is where we can get creative. And it's only by being creative that this question works. So the question is, what does your younger self, the one who made the belief that you are not enough, or whatever the belief was, what does your younger self need to believe, to fully believe, to be convinced that this new empowering belief is true? And let me explain a bit more about this. Your younger self made a decision. Imagine, for example, one of my main beliefs was I have to be perfect. And that creates a lot of stress in my life. And I've had to work on this belief again and again and again. Now, my younger self made that decision because she thought that by being perfect, there wouldn't be any problems in their family. So she kind of took on that responsibility of being perfect. What she understood back then, no one told her this. No one told her, you have to be perfect. But what she understood, her interpretation of the events around her was, oh, if I want love, I need to be perfect. And I want love because if I am not loved, then I'm going to starve. And, you know, we look for our survival. So if I try to tell myself, oh, but you're good enough, you know, you're perfect the way you are loved unconditionally, the younger part of me that made that decision is going to go, but you don't know what's going on right here. So having that conversation with that younger part of yourself, and you can do this through facilitating an inner dialogue. The way I would do this in a session is through a technique called Matrix Reimprinting. If you haven't heard of it, I would recommend you look into it. It's an addition to emotional freedom technique, or the tapping, that is very popular. So with Matrix Reimprinting, what we do is we go to that scene where the younger self made that decision, and we give her resources, and we help her or him go through that moment and rewrite that story. We help her make a different decision. We help her understand that maybe there was another interpretation to that event. So it's about going. So in this case, I've done a lot of work around visiting my younger self and explaining to her that she didn't have to be perfect, that she was loved anyway, that she doesn't need to be perfect to receive love. She is worthy of love the way she is. But I had to have a dialogue with her and help her understand that that is true. And it's when that happened that then your brain, through visualization, this is why visualization is so powerful, because it's the language of the subconscious mind. And when you do it through a visualization and you kind of rewrite that story, we're not changing what happened though. So it's not about denying, you know, and I'm talking especially about traumatic events. We're not denying what happened. We're not trying to change your past. I don't have that magic wand to change your past, unfortunately. Well, I don't know if I would want one anyway. But what we're trying to do is to change the story, the perception about that event. So whatever decision that younger self made is about helping them make a more empowering decision, to help them understand that it wasn't their fault, that they're lovable anyway, that they don't need to be perfect, that it is safe for them to express themselves, whatever the new belief you want to install. And like I said, this is where things get a bit tricky. This is, you know, the most challenging part. This is going to be the most challenging part to do on your own, but it is doable. But this is where the magic happens. This is where the magic happens. And then with Matrix Reimprinting, for example, what I do in my sessions, when you have that conversation and you kind of help your younger self make a different decision, then what we do is we kind of take a picture, like a snapshot of that moment with the positive emotion, with the new belief, and we bring it through the head, through the brain, to the heart, and then we send a signal of that new belief or that new emotion with colors, with the image, and that rewires the brain. The subconscious mind understands this language. And if you do it again, you know, every day, reimprinting this thing, it becomes really, really powerful. So that's about rewriting the story. It's about rewriting the perception, the decisions. It's not about changing the past. We can't change what happened in the past. But what we can do, and we need to take responsibility for, is to change the perception, the story we tell ourselves, the self-narrative, the self-thoughts, the decisions we made about ourselves, about others, about the world. So I know, especially this last part might need a bit of time to integrate. So like I said, make yourself comfortable. Make sure you stop the video if you watch it again at every point, so you can go through your beliefs and following this process. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Let me know how it went. And if you're interested in this topic, I would love to invite you to join my free 7-day course, Step Into Your Power with Confidence and Joy, where I explain this in more detail. And there are some really powerful healing meditations to guide you through this process, with powerful visualizations to rewire the brain, the subconscious mind. And if this resonates with you, and if you're ready for the deep healing, for a deeper level of support and transformation, please book a free discovery session with me to have a chat about how my healing coaching programs can help you rewire your subconscious mind, rewrite your story so you can create the life of joy and purpose that you came here to live. Okay, my loves, so that was all from me today. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.